Hey there, it's Tony here from the Coach Curl Academy, and today I'm sharing with you a little snippet out of one of our programs out of the Academy, and we've called it the Goal Guide. Now, as we know, goals are so important for our lives, for ourselves to achieve the success, the significance, the satisfaction that we want in life. It's important for us to understand how to set goals, and more importantly, what steps we need to be doing to achieve them. So in this short video, I'll be sharing some of the insights into goal setting from one of the programs that we have within the Academy. It's called The Power of Goal Setting. But rest assured, we have multiple goal setting programs inside the Academy, and surely there will be one that will resonate with you to enable you to achieve your very best in life. As you know, goal setting is incredibly important. If we want to achieve the purpose that we believe that we have in life, it's very important for us to have our goals, have them set, and understand the behaviors and the actions that we need to achieve them. So let's get started. Now, many people we know aren't as successful as what they should be or what they could be. And this is usually because of a lack of goal setting. The deficiencies within the goal setting process that they've set for themselves. People often don't get to where they want to go because of the fact that they're not being effective within their goal setting. So goal setting is an absolutely integral and an essential part of our lives. And it should be part of our daily lives. It's not about sitting back and dreaming when we get the chance. It's about those daily actions and behaviors that will change the world as we know it. Now, often our lives are impacted more than we know by the goals that we are setting daily. A goal to exercise, a goal to eat healthy, a goal to rest up, all comes about from daily goal setting. Success will lie on how well we deliver that daily goal setting. In fact, John Maxwell tells us that success is found in our daily agenda. Our lives become powerful when our daily goals are aligned with our big picture goals that define our purpose and what we're aiming for in life. And this is where goals set us up for life. When we know what it is that we want to achieve, goals help guide the way. They give us that sense of purpose. They give us that sense of direction. They allow us to measure where we're at, give us that sense of direction, provide a roadmap, and create a plan for our lives. Goal setting is indeed a habit of successful people. If you want to be successful, set goals. If you want to succumb to the ebbs and flows of life, drift along and let life take you where it wants to, don't set goals. The choice is simple. The journey of working towards our goal fuels our journey. It gives and provides energy, the energy that we need to continue to undertake the steps that we need. And it's not just individuals that benefit from goal setting. Organizations do, teams do, companies do, business do, community groups do. Everyone who wants to achieve something in life will benefit from the concept of goal setting. Where you know what you're aiming at, it's far easier to set the actions that will help guide and get you there. Goals are also a really strong way to allow us to learn and utilize our strengths and improve upon our weaknesses. As we build along the journey of utilizing our strengths, our confidence, our self-esteem grow. Goals also allow us to create focus. And focus is an integral part of our journey. Goals set right empower that focus and help us stay on the path that we need. And even though the journey and the path may become rocky at times, that focus allows us to keep going. When we have focus, we find it easier to prioritize. We find it easier to ignore distractions. So what are some of the best tips that you find in common goal setting theories? And more importantly, when we research successful people, we often see commonalities. So from research and from successful people achieving results and outcomes, we can provide some real tips as to what is best practice when it comes to goal setting. Firstly, write it down. This is just one step. This is the first step. This is step one of successful goal setting. This is our first action. When we write our goals down, we give them life. We breathe life into them and give us a foundation for our journey. It's a starting point. It's that old "you are here" moment. You know, when you walk into a shopping centre and you've got the shopping centre map with an arrow that says "you are here"? That's the same concept that we share with writing our goals down. It gives us that definitive moment in time, that "you are here" moment. It's a point of reference. It's a commitment. It's an intention. It's a joining of the cognitive processes. We're putting our action, which is writing it down, to our thought, our dreams, our desires. It's a common and it's a vital starting point. Now, a goal has to have meaning to you, doesn't it? It can't be someone else's goal. It can't be someone else's dream. If you love writing and making up stories, be a writer. If you're good at soccer, basketball, cricket, rugby league, play those sports. The goal has to mean something for you. But a writer shouldn't be setting a goal of being a sports star. A writer should be setting a goal to be a writer. So the goal can't be someone else's, and it can't be something that doesn't have meaning for you, because you won't be inspired by it. You won't be driven by it. You won't have that sense of purpose around what it is that you're aiming to achieve. It will never generate the motivation to do what you need to do to achieve what you possibly can. Nothing great happens within comfort zones. The comfort zone is where we feel safe and secure. But greatness, and your greatness, will only come when you stretch. When you stretch yourself outside of that comfort zone. Goals that stretch us are exciting. They motivate us. They inspire us. And it's something, if it's something that you've never done before, it fuels us. Last year I ran the New York Marathon. That was a huge stretch for me. I'd never run seriously before in my life. The most I'd ever run was a 10-kilometre race. But the goal energized me. The goal inspired me. The goal kept me working, even though there were hard times, there were struggles, there was injury. But ultimately it was the challenge that was met that enabled me to finish that marathon, to finish that goal. Goals should be exciting for you, and they should stretch you outside of your comfort zone. Now, generally, general goals don't work. A general goal is something like, I want more money. I want to be famous. I want a better life. They're general and very lacking in motivation because they're not specific. They're not clear. They're not things that we can create a picture around. A goal usually starts life as a general desire, yes. A general desire to do something or be more, but to make it work as a motivator and to make it work as a really big motivator, we have to make it specific. Now, making it specific makes it more effective, and when it's more specific, it becomes clearer in our mind. And we have to be able to measure it. We have to know when we're getting closer to it. We have to know what it looks like. A general goal of wanting more money needs to become a specific goal of what it is that you want to earn in a year, what it is that you want your business to turn over in a year. People will say, I want the first million in the bank by the time I'm 30. They can visualize it. It becomes a motivator because it's really clear, it's really specific, and it's incredibly measurable. And then we need to add a time frame to it, because a time frame creates some urgency, keeps us on track, and keeps us motivated. Adding a time frame will always do that. Don't be afraid also to put some pressure on that deadline. Put some pressure on that timeline. If you think that that book is going to take you 3 months to write, challenge yourself and set the deadline for 2 months. Because what that does is shapes your actions. It creates urgency and changes your actions. Imagine if you told yourself that instead of 3 months for the book, I'm going to finish it by this Friday. Imagine how that would shape your actions. Imagine how much more urgent you would get in achieving your goal. So yes, put a deadline on it. Put a great deadline on it. Be comfortable with that deadline, and then create some urgency around that deadline. Setting that deadline and pushing yourself to deliver helps you achieve your dream. Yes, it does put some pressure on you. But when you look back and you think back after you've completed it, guess what? You're going to be really glad that you did. Now, creating accountability for your goals is another important aspect. Now, but only you can know what that accountability looks like. Okay, I'll repeat that. Only you know what that accountability looks like. Can you make yourself accountable? Or do you need an accountability partner? Do you need to share what the goal is to as many people as possible? Because everyone's got different motivators in and around this accountability space. Some people will share their goal with people, and the ridicule, the derision, some people aren't real clear, real happy that you're out there chasing what it is that you want to do. And sometimes that will make people disillusioned. So if that's the type of people that are around you, maybe you're better off keeping that goal to yourself and working fastidiously to achieve it. Other people will team up with someone else that's chasing a goal and become accountability partners for each other. So be mindful of what works for you. If you've been able to make yourself accountable in the past and achieve goals, hold that, because being self-accountable for your own goals is a really important aspect. But if you've achieved through teams, if you've been more successful in a team than by yourself, think about how that can work for you in creating that accountability. Just be mindful that because other people are telling you the best way. So some people will say, choose a goal that's so big it scares you. Share your goal with everyone. Well, and there's no doubt that those principles, those concepts, those theories work with portions of the population. But they don't work with everyone. In fact, some of the big goal setting, set a goal that scares you and tell everyone, really does discourage us. And also just be mindful of where you're getting your drive from. Sometimes just telling your friends and family that you're writing a book and they tell you how wonderful that would be, is the satisfaction enough for some people, and then they stop doing what it is that they set out to do. So think about encouragement. Think about the way that you can hold yourself accountable. How do you get the kick along that you need to achieve your goals? That's personal, but accountability for your goals is absolutely crucial. And just after I've talked about not thinking big, don't be afraid to think big. Don't be afraid to think about how big it could possibly be. And there is a little bit of sanity around that concept of so big it scares you. Every goal worth doing should have a level of fear in and around it. There should be a fear around what happens if I accomplish. Who will I become? So don't be afraid to think big, and thinking big can be a really big motivator. Thinking small absolutely keeps us stuck. Keeps us stuck. So if you have a choice to think big, to dream big, to set goals big, or to set goals small, I would encourage you to set your goals big. Thinking small keeps us stuck. Now, but that's really all about what we do to set the goal and to plan it out. But here's the most important stuff. Goals don't work unless you do. So it's really important to plot the actions for your plans. Dream big, yes, but by setting a plan of attack, we can set smaller milestones along the way, so that big dream doesn't seem so insurmountable, and it actually seems imminently achievable. So set a plan of attack. Set your milestones along the way. The journey is what will drive you and continue to drive you towards your big goal. Having that big goal in front of you and then setting your milestones for the journey ensures that you have a greater chance of success. Map out your plan. So, as an example of that, someone that wants to lose, 20 kilograms of weight, or 60 pounds, or 50 kilograms, having that as their goal is great. But then it comes back to what the action plan says. And the action plan may say, we're going to lose that weight. We're going to lose that weight by doing our daily walks and by eating healthy. And every day we're going to set our goals to do that. And if we do that, we could possibly lose 1 kilogram a week. So then the focus comes back on not the losing the 20 kilograms or the 50 kilograms. It comes back to, what do I have to do today? And it comes back to that concept of, I want to lose 1 kilogram a week. And guess what? If I do that for 20 weeks, I'm going to get my goal. And as you hit each milestone, we actually get our own reward. Dopamine, which is a transmitter in our brain, will actually give us a reward. We'll actually get a spike of dopamine, which keeps us energized towards our goal. So it will be released. It will give us a natural reward. And this is what helps us enjoy the journey. But also, don't be afraid to give yourself a reward. Just make sure it's not a reward that self-sabotages what it is that you're trying to achieve. It can be a great motivator knowing that a reward is around the corner. A great motivator. And it helps keep you going during those tough times. But as I said, just make sure that that reward isn't something, because sometimes it is something that will self-sabotage. And really, really important, if you stumble, readjust. Readjust and start again. Just because you had, and I'll go back to the weight loss scenario, just because you succumbed and had a piece of cake at the farewell party at work for a person that had been there for 40 years, just because you had a piece of cake doesn't stop you from getting back on track immediately after that. Don't use that as an excuse to say, well, I'll start again tomorrow and have a day on the down low. No. If you stumble, you readjust. No one ever sets out on a goal and achieves it smoothly. We all have stumbles. We all have blockages. We all have obstacles. We all have temptations. As my good friend Steve Maraboli talks about, sometimes you snuggle with your demons, sometimes you wrestle with them. So this is what it's all about, because every now and again you're going to stumble. You need to readjust. You need to reset. You need to remember what's important and you need to get moving again. Get up, shake yourself off, and get moving again. I hope you've taken some value out of this video lesson around goal setting. This is just a small presentation from the Power of Goal Setting course that's available on the Coach Curl Academy website. It's just one of over 70 powerful programs designed to help you achieve your best. So whether it's a leadership for your business perspective, or if you just want to adjust and shift your mindset, we will have a program that will stop you from shadow boxing with that inferior version of yourself. Power of Goal Setting is available on our Silver Mindset membership or on our Gold member. And it's available at just $1 for the first 30 days. These programs are your online toolkit to the success that you clearly deserve. And by putting in those steps, you are greater and you are closer to your greatest success. I encourage you now to check it out now or sign up for the Goal Setting Hacks course that appears on this particular page. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to share if you think someone else can benefit from it. I hope to see you inside the Coach Curl Academy.